Good morning, Card Communities. RJ back with another video, so let's get to it. Still keeping with the Phillies themes for the trivia question all week long, and still showing off a couple things I got from Stuart, so let's get into it. Today's random Mike Schmidt item of the day. Picked up a while ago the Class 1 and Class 2 2022 Topps Gold label cards. I don't know where they say Class 1 or Class 2 on these. I remember a couple years ago when I came across these, I was able to pick up some of the 2020 ones, I think. And they actually said in the background, the image in the background said Class 1 or Class 2, so you knew. The only way I know is by, searching and learning and researching. This is Class 1 and 2. What I got off the bay, or actually this was in trade recently, was the Class 3 version. So Class 1, Class 2, and this is the Class 3. Just obviously the main picture is a variant. And they can be had in a black version, which is also not numbered. You can see these base cards are not numbered. And they are in different colored formats that are numbered. I'm not sure if each color has Class 1, 2, and 3 with variable numbers, because I have a red one, and I got it when I found these cards again. I decided to pick up a couple of the other numbered variations, so I found a purple one that I'm going to pick up. So that is my random baseball, or Mike Schmidt item of the day, I should say. My random baseball item of the day. In searching, I always do a search once in a while on the bay of vintage Phillies memorabilia. And I came across a really cool book about the Phillies, which I'm happy to say I was able to pick up, simply called The Philadelphia Phillies. And you can see it's fairly older. This one's actually from 1953. It's one of those, some local publishing house had some people crank out a series of books on various baseball topics and sports topics and whatnot. So this one obviously is on the Phillies, and it is copyright, if you look at here, 1953. So it is 70 years old now. And it's interesting, the two people who wrote it, now Fred Lieb, longtime sports writer. You can see here most of the books that were cranked out were by Fred Lieb for this series. But the other person is a guy named Stan Baumgartner. Now, Baumgartner played for the Phillies for several years, back in like the teens and 20s, and eventually became a reporter. In fact, when this book was published, he was still working for the Philadelphia Inquirer. So that's one of the reasons he was probably a big asset to Fred Lieb in cranking out this book. It's not something I have read yet. Just got it the other day off the bay, but very happy to have it. And that is my random random baseball item of the day. Okay. All right. So today's trivia question. So on Monday, my question was, what was the first year they made it to the World Series? Now let's talk about the first dynasty of the Phillies. Hard to believe it, but they did have a bit of a dynasty there, because from 1970, I think it was from 1974. It was either from 1974 to 83 or from 1975 to 84. 10-year span where they never had a losing season. It was the first year of this feat. Never had a losing season in 10 years. Went to the postseason at least 5 times. Made the World Series twice and won once in that 10-year span. So in that 10-year span, between, I'll just say it this way, between 75 and 83, or between 84, between 75 and 84, name for me the 6 seasons, 6, in which the Phillies made the postseason. All right, I'm not asking you which year they won the World Series. Most people know when the Phillies won their first World Series. I'm also not asking you what year they went to the World Series and lost, but within that 10-year span, 75 to 84, 6 times the Phillies made the postseason. Name those 6 seasons. What years? Your prize could be this great Trey Turner, stars of MLB. Trey's having a great postseason already. He had a great comeback in August that helped us get to the postseason, and he's a fantastic fan favorite out here. So that is your prize. If you can send me, that could be your prize. If you send me a good answer, send me an answer via email. I will include my email in the description below, along with a repeat of that question. You will have today and tomorrow to answer, and we will pick a winner on Sunday. So good luck to everybody on that one. Today, what I want to show off, a couple things. A bit of eBay, but also a bit of things I picked up at Stu's house. So more, it's day two of baseball cards with Stu. So again, Stu is much more of a what do I want to say? A collector of autographs, more so than collectibles, but he has an equal number of collectibles, just like he has with autos. So he's selling everything now, guys. If you want to get in, give me a shout. So the first thing I have to show off is something he had in a bin somewhere and would have been lost, but I thought this was a cool thing to take home. Just a relic card, Fleer Greats, the 2003 Fleer Greats product, showing Tom Seaver with the Reds. You can see just a random napkin jersey cut. I did not have a jersey of Tom Seaver. I thought, I've been thinking for a while, should I start collecting one autograph of every Hall of Famer? Well, that's going to be really, really hard and really expensive. But jersey cards, relic cards, don't tend to be as crazy as auto cards. So I thought, well, why don't I just start collecting auto or relic cards of all the Hall of Famers instead? Because you get some cool relic cards for a lot less money than autos. So certainly some of the more legendary players like Babe Ruth, Gehrig, and Mantle, you can get relic cards for a fair price, whereas you'd never be able to afford an autograph to some of these players. So he had, Stu had this one for, I don't even remember what I put in. I got a whole package stuff and just lump summed the whole thing. So nice little Tom Seaver relic. Then a couple things I got off the bay, and I'll get back to Stu stuff again, but I picked up, this is technically a box set, Donruss Baseball Best from 1988. It was the orange kind of tinted set where the regular cards were blue. These all have an orange tint to them. Baseball's Best. You see here 336 cards in this set. Still factory sealed. I don't know if I'll ever open this one. This is one of those sets where really I know what it is. It's an 88 Donruss set. The cards are worthless. There's no point in opening them. It really isn't. I think this is one of the few products that I'm not going to bother opening because I don't care about thumbing through the cards. They're 88 Donruss cards. I mean, for goodness sake, it's not even worth thumbing through them, really. So I think I just might keep this one sealed. But again, it's part of my box set run, so I'm happy to have snagged that. Another thing I got off the bay recently was the double box set. The Score 1988 Score Young Superstars. I think these were the last ones I needed. The Score Young Superstars, as well as the Donruss Baseball Best, to acquire every box set from 1988. I'm slowly making my way up the ladder in years, trying to get all of the box sets ever made, ever, according to the tradingcarddatabase.com, because these little box sets most people consider them absolutely worthless. It was one of the highlights of the junk wax era, so you can understand why. But, hey, another one for my collection. Then lastly, going back to Stu's house, two more things I picked up that were little box sets and I was able to snag, because they're practically worthless. Even Stu didn't ask much for them, but these are important pieces to my PC because they're little box sets. The 1990 Rising Stars Score set, 100 cards with 6 trivia. I've already opened it and gone through it, and this one is open, so I can at least thumb through the cards whenever I choose there. And lastly, still Score, although this one's the Pinnacle. Oh, I got to switch this out. The image is rotated wrong. It is the Pinnacle. Joe DiMaggio. Pinnacle, I believe, was the parent company of Score, or vice versa. I can never tell. The way these corporations do their filings for tax purposes, I can never remember which is the parent and which is the subsidiary. But the Joe DiMaggio tin, I think it was 96, was it? Let's see here. Could have been 96. No, 93. Couldn't have been 96 because they did have some random autographed versions. And Joe, I think Joe died in 96 or 95. Anyway, 30 card set. Joe D with the Score. And another set for my box set collection. So really, that's all I have for you today, people. Big things to show off on Friday. I shouldn't say, I'm not trying to, get you thinking I'm showing off some 52 mantle or anything crazy, but size-wise, much bigger things to show off on Friday, but still along the lines of a couple things from Stu's house as well. So, all right. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please consider throwing me a like, subscribing, commenting, and all that jazz. I really do appreciate your support as I try my best to support everybody else in this great card community. Hopefully, it is Wednesday. Hopefully by now, the Phillies have wrapped up this round of the playoffs and taking it to Adam's Braves. You're going down, Adam. You're going down. But if not, hopefully we'll get it done by Friday. So appreciate you watching. Hope you all have a good week. Come back on Friday and we'll do it again. Thanks for watching. Take care.